I did a video last year with 5-star predictions. That video is out the window. Throw it out. I don't even remember what was on it, but I'm sure I didn't read them all. This year I'm doing it again, but this time I'm gonna do it. I have 4 books that I believe will be 5-star books. Even though I don't actually rate the books that I read for this video in particular, everything that I mentioned in the video, I will tell you if it's a 5-star or a 1-star. Anyway, I have 4 books that I feel very confident are going to be 5-star reads that I'm gonna read very soon. And then I have 4 books that I really want to read, but people keep telling me I'll hate. But I still think there's hope for me to like it. So it's this could be something that I enjoy, but I'm also fully aware that it could be a 1. All these books are books that I hope to enjoy, that I hope to love, but I'm just acknowledging some of these may be bad. And they are all books that I plan to read soon, like within the first half of the year, absolutely. And if you like, I can come back and we can kind of look at how successful I was in my predictions. I realized 5 and 5 would be a better number, but I came up with 4, so you get 4. Starting with Trust of the Emerald Sea. At the time that I'm filming this, it is December 31st, so I have not started reading this book yet, but you won't see this video until about 2 weeks later. So by the time you see this video, I will have already read and reviewed Trust of the Emerald Sea on my second channel. Also, I'm using its official title now instead of calling it a secret project because at least at the time that this video goes live, it will be available for the public to purchase on ebook. So it feels like it's not a secret anymore because everybody has access to it. Anyway, at the time that this video is live, that review is already up, so immediate gratification, you can go to my second channel. I'll just have the video linked, the review linked, where I will actually you will immediately know if the first one on this list was a flop or if I'm doing okay. I feel confident I'm gonna like this because Sanderson is my most read author. I have never disliked one of his books, so I feel really confident that at the very least I'm going to like it, but also the plot just seems like a Murphy book. Set by the ocean, she's always lived by the ocean, then she has to set sail and live on the sea, but somehow for some reason that could kill her, like just a drop of water could kill her. What is that? What do you mean? It sounds perfect. It sounds like what I should. There's also pirates. What could go wrong? Also, I'm friends with a couple of Sanderson's beta readers, and they have both told me this is a Murphy book, specifically Murphy, you will love this, so I just think I will. Anyway, like I said, instant gratification, that review is already up at the time that you're seeing this video, so you can see if I'm right or horribly wrong. Next up is a book that I will absolutely be starting in February, and it's called The Shadow Casket. This is book 2 of the Darkwater Legacy. It's The Ember Blade was the first book. The Ember Blade, which made it to my top books of the year 2021, and I still talk about more often than I rightfully should. I loved that book so much, I even wrote Chris Wooding an email to tell him how much I loved it, which I've never done before, but I just needed him to know. Anyway, the sequel is coming out in February. It will be read. I loved The Ember Blade so much that I really hope that this is gonna be a win too. I don't even really care if it's not 5 stars, even if it's a 4, I'm gonna be living a happy life. So I'm really excited about this book. Next up, another book that I will absolutely be reading in January is Guards Guards. This is my first Terry Pratchett book. I've actually attempted to read this book once before. This was my I love satire, comedy, fiction era. This was when I thought I didn't like this kind of stuff, absurdist fiction. So I tried it. I don't even think I got very far. I think I read like a chapter and then I said, no, I don't want this, and I stopped. Now that I've read One Piece and Hitchhikers, I know what I'm about and I'm ready to give Pratchett a proper try. So I will be starting with Guards Guards. My friend actually told me, I told my friend, you pick where I start because I'm very overwhelmed by knowing where to start with Pratchett. So I told him, you pick where I start. So he told me where to start. I bought the book And then I was told emphatically by multiple people, no, you must start at Guards. So I'm starting at Guards. I don't own it, but I'm pretty sure I can get it from the library. And I feel confident. I feel very confident that I'm going to love him because so many people have told me, if you love Hitchhikers on the level that you do, you're gonna like Pratchett. So I feel very excited because I'm out of Hitchhikers books because there's only 3. So time for some Pratchett. The final book on this list, and the only book that I actually physically own at the time that I'm filming it, is Vagabond. If you don't know, on my second channel, I've been doing a book-by-book discussion for Vinland Saga with my friend Philip Chase. We have had so much fun, and we're about to wrap up Vinland Saga, and we didn't want to stop hanging out. So we have decided that we're starting Vagabond in February of 2023, this year, the year that you're watching this in. I don't know if the first volume is gonna be 5 stars, but I do plan on reading a lot of this this year. So I feel safe. I feel safe that I'm going to like it. I know very little about it except that it's about, I believe, Japanese martial arts and probably a lot more. But I have flipped through a couple of the early pages. The artwork is stunning and I just have a good feeling. Based off of what little I know about it, it seems like it could be a hit for me. Okay, so those are my 4 5-star predictions. Now we have the 1-star predictions. And by that I mean, these are books that I actively want to enjoy, but have been told, yeah, you're probably not gonna. Starting with The Magicians, and this video idea came to me because I did an end of the year live stream and somebody brought up, I want you to try The Magicians. And I have owned this book for so long and I have picked it up to read it several times, and every time I say, I'm thinking about reading The Magicians, my friends and people that comment on my videos have told me, no, you won't like that. What little I know about this book, about it being in a school setting and about, I don't really remember what I've heard about the magic system, but I do remember when I was told about it, I thought, that sounds amazing. But I've also heard that there are some strong problems with this series as well that I may not appreciate. So it could go either way. I'm hopeful that I'll end up enjoying it. Oh, by the way, I don't actually have a start date planned for this like I do for most of the books on this list. Most of these books I already know hard, I'm starting in January or I'm starting in February. The Magicians doesn't have something like that, but I will get to it within the first half of the year for sure, if not in the first quarter. It'd be cool to do the first quarter for all of these, but you know, I'm not making it too stringent on myself. Anyway, next up is Traitor's Blade. This is absolutely being read in January. It's one of my buddy reads. This is a book that I'm picking up because my friend Alan really loves it, talks about it a lot, and I want to read it. But then after I bought it, a couple of people mentioned to me that there is a scene in this book that could ruin the entire book. It's considered terrible by everybody, including people that love the book. And I don't know what this scene is. I mean, one of my friends very mildly explained it, and it does sound unfortunate. It does sound like something I would very, very actively hate. But Alan says it doesn't ruin the book, so I'm either going to enjoy the book despite it, or I'm going to judge Alan really hard. We'll just have to see what happens. Either way, this could be a hit, it could be a miss. We'll just have to see where it lands. I will admit, a flaw in me is that if I hate something hard enough, I'm willing to let it overshadow a lot of the good. But sometimes I'm willing to forgive some annoying things if the rest of the book is phenomenal. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Hyperion, another book that will absolutely at least be started in January because it is one of my buddy reads. This is a classic sci-fi. I have been told that the world and a lot of the mechanics of this story are phenomenal. I've also been told that there's some choices that aren't ideal. So I don't know. Best case scenario, I love it. Worst case scenario, I might have some laughs at some ridiculous lines. But this is another one that I have been told really good things about, but when I've mentioned I'm picking it up, people have said, okay, but go in knowing some things. And the final book on this list of could be a 1 is a Daphne du Maurier. So if you don't know, Daphne du Maurier is one of my all-time favorite authors. I have quite a few of her books on this shelf here. Some of her books are some of my favorite books of all time. Rebecca is good, but there are some phenomenal books in her arsenal. Anyway, One of my friends, who also loves Du Maurier, asked me if I wanted to buddy read The Loving Spirit with her, and we agreed to read it together, and we both silently quit. We both read a few chapters, yelled at each other for a little while, and then just stopped talking about the book. And I don't think she finished it either. I certainly didn't. I really want to love this. I could end up loving it. It's Du Maurier, but I could end up, it could be bad. I'll message her today and see if she wants to try the buddy read again, and we'll just both commit to finishing it no matter what it does to us, and we'll see where that takes us. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now, actually. I'll take vigorous notes while I read it. That way, if it ends up being as bad as it could be, as bad as the first few chapters were, we can make it a rant. Okay, there you go. Those are 4 books that I fully anticipate being 5-star reads, absolutely. I have 4 books that I really hope to love, but I've been told could potentially be a big ol' flop for me. Or I've already read part of it and I already know that it could be a big ol' flop for me. Either way, I'm excited to read all of these books very soon. I'm committing to reading them very soon. Several I've already committed to read with other people, so it's gonna happen. And if you feel like it, if you think it would be fun, I can come back and we can look through these 8 books and see what has been done to me. If you've read any of these books, please let me know what you think I'll think of them. Or if you want to pick up one of these books or multiple of these books here in the next, I'm gonna try to make it in the next quarter, but at least in the first 6 months of the year, please do. And we'll come back together and we will be happy or sad. Anyway, if you want to keep up with what I read week to week, you can always follow me on the second channel where I do weekly reading vlogs where I give spoiler-free reviews of what I'm reading as I'm reading it, or I also do spoiler-filled discussions for my favorite books that I read all over there. Always linked in the description of this channel. Of my videos. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on this channel, Tuesdays and Thursdays on the second channel. I'll see you again soon. Bye.